You are now listening to the Building Her Dream podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with introverted women entrepreneurs who are building their dream lives and businesses on their own terms. Hosted by business operations strategist, author, and the founder of Building Her Dream, Shayla Burton. To learn more about this podcast and our magazine, visit www.buildingherdream.com. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Building Her Dream podcast. I'm your host and lifelong introvert, Shayla Burton, and I'm so excited to chat with today's guest. She is Kacia Warren, an accountability and empowerment coach all the way from Florida. Hello, Kacia. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, very good. So glad to have you here. Now, I always like to start off with kind of a fun question. And so, if you could wake up tomorrow and have your perfect dream life, what would that life look like?
Well, I'm currently living every prayer that I've ever prayed for and has been answered. So I feel very blessed that I get to get up every morning and encourage women and men to wake up and be the best person that they can be, to serve the kingdom of God, and also to take ownership and be accountable for the things that they're doing in their lives. And so for me, it's a blessing. I feel like every day that I am living my answered prayers, and I get to serve every single day because I come from contribution, and I hope that I get to impact other people's lives and walk in my purpose.
Love that. Walking in your purpose. I really love that. And that's amazing that you're currently living your dream. So that's awesome. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about you and the work that you're doing?
Thank you. I am from Pensacola, Florida. I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, but I chose to reside here in Pensacola for a quieter life. I'm an empty nester, and my kids are grown and gone, but I have beautiful grandchildren all over the world. And I get to enjoy life here. Building a life as a life and empowerment coach. I help people with accountability and ownership and getting back into integrity, which is very important. I think sometimes people really don't understand accountability and what that looks like. It helps getting you back on your feet, accept responsibility for who you are and knowing who you are and how you serve in the world. And so for me, it's an important task to help people get grounded and get back into the person that they want to be and how they want to serve in the world. And so my gift is being able to connect those people back to the core person that they truly are and bring out the best in them, by building confidence, by setting some time management skills and mastering those, by also building boundaries and confidence, and habit stacking in the best ways to be the most optimal person that they want to be.
Mm, very cool. So do you work with your clients one-on-one, or do you have like a group program? How does that work?
So I have both. I have one-on-one program, which so a lot of times people who are out of integrity need help in their life, such as I help people with who are just coming out of recovery, who may just be coming out of incarceration, who might be coming out of a group home for whatever. Maybe they have been through some type of incarceration, whether that is probation, whatever that looks like for them. And a lot of times it's just people who are coming out of recovery. They're people who love them the most, which is their family, don't know how to help them in the best, healthiest way, right? They
Yeah.
pull them back into the things of the world, and they need fresh faces, fresh places, and a fresh start. And I offer that. And sometimes I have to travel to help my client get out of those situations because they don't have the power to surround them and help them move forward. So I pride myself on being the person who can meet them where they're at and help get them to where they need to be. So really, I'm
Mm.
the gap. I
Yeah.
coach in the gap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now we
Wow.
also have group coaching. We do a book. We have a book for people who want to write books. We have a
Mm.
writing academy. And then we also have people who go through accountability through that book academy who talk about their testimony and help write their books. So I do group coaching in that as well. And I just help people the best way I know how. And that's to meet them where they're at and help them see that they are worth it. They are worthy. They are beautiful. They are kind. They are out of integrity, but they can get back into integrity. And it takes practice, 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 and practice every single
Yeah.
day. But it requires you to be in preparation and not be in procrastination because the only person that's holding you back is you. And everything that you need is within you. You just have to tap into it. You have to know what your superpower is, right? And you
Right.
have to be willing. The key is you have to be willing to go through all of the hard moments, whether that's trauma, whether that's fear, whether that's shame, whether that's whatever that looks like for the person, because every person has something different, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's something different within them. It could be a generational curse, it could be shame, it could be whatever that looks like and feels like. And each person is different. And so um, you have to be willing to tap into it and get yourself out of it and work through it. And that starts when you acknowledge it first and take responsibility and ownership. And most importantly, it requires you to be in practice of it every single day to make improvements to get better. Because if you're not working at it, you're not improving at it, and you're not going to get better at it. And so if you really want to push through it, you have to you have to just tackle it head on. And I always say the analogy, stay in your lane and put your blinders on, stay in your
Mm-hmm.
lane, put your blinders on, and get laser focused. And when you do that, you'll start feeling better and looking better and trusting yourself. And, it all starts with just that gut
Yeah.
feeling to be better. And when you tap into that, you become better.
Mm. Absolutely. What do you love about the work that you do?
I love the work that I do because, first of all, I'm anointed and I know that God has a message from me. And I know that I walk in my purpose because I help people move forward. And that's not easy. It's not an easy thing. Um, but you have to look inside and see people for who they are and where they are and see the potential in them and how they can move forward in transformation. And that really is the gift.
Yeah.
Because I can see in somebody else, like I can see in you that you are a wonderfully made, that you are so kind and your spirit is free and you represent freedom. I see that you're educated, and I also see that you are very mindful of how people perceive you.
Hmm. Hmm.
I can see that in you. But I also know that you're beautiful, you're kind, you're gracious, and that you make an impact in the world because you share your gift.
Mm. Absolutely. Yeah.
And you
Oh,
just have to be willing to see that in other people, right? This is not about me. This is about how I help people heal and move forward because that
right.
is the gift. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing.
Mm.
You cannot stay where you are and grow. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to be doing things that are outside of your boundaries. You have to be doing things that scare you a little. And even when you're scared, you're learning something through it and you're building more skills. You're building more confidence. You're building more, you know, um, I'll tell you, for instance, I want to have a TED talk. And I am terrified about having a TED Talk. But here's the gift in doing the things that you're afraid to do. I volunteered to be in the room for a TED Talk recording, and I got selected. And out of a million people, I got selected. And the reason why I got selected is because I said I was so afraid of doing it. And it's always been a dream of mine to have a TED Talk. And I just wanted him to call my name and let me be in the room, just so I can at least have an idea of what to expect and how afraid I'm going to be. But I am going to have a TED Talk this year. I am going to have a TED Talk. And I believe that I'm going to have a TED Talk, and I'm going to do it scared, but I'm also going to impact a lot of people in change, in knowing that I did hard things, and what it takes to do hard things, but to also reach your goals, and not only reach your goals, but exceed them abundantly, because I walk through fear.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
fear is not going to hold me back. Fear does not have control of me. Fear, I'm going to tell you, the joy on the other side of fear is what makes me smile every single day. The
Right.
joy on the other side of fear is knowing the work that I've done to get through transformation. The joy in life that I live every single day in gratitude is because I get to, because I'm no longer ashamed, afraid, held down, staying stuck, any of those things. I have moved through all of that because I'm an action taker. I'm a risk taker. I am not afraid to be told no, and my no is anointed. When I say no, when I say yes, I'm all in. When I say no, it's an anointed no, and it's a hard no for me. I don't waver from it. And I know where that no comes from, and I know that it's not meant for me.
Yeah. So the work that you do is very people focused.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to you speak right now, some people may think that you're not really an introvert. Um,
Mm.
when did you when did you first realize that you were an introvert?
I am an introvert in so many ways because I'm a loner. I have a
Yeah.
million books piled up around me because I love to be a bookworm and be in the middle of a million books. I like to listen to lots of podcasts to stay relevant and educated. And what I do is look for things that in ways that I can connect with other people. That
Hmm.
when I am having, um, you know, for the longest time, I was afraid to speak to people
Hmm.
about my gift because I didn't want to draw attention to myself, right? I wanted to be the wallflower and just be the observer in the room. And I still am in a lot of ways, but I'm better at networking now because I'm not afraid of my gift. And being
Hmm.
able to walk into your gift, into your power, into your purpose is something that takes bravery, right? You have to be brave even on days when you don't want to be, right? Just talking about your gifts is not easy. Not everybody has a
Hmm.
gift. Not everybody has a gift to share, and not everybody understands your gift, right?
Yeah.
And you're judged on that, right? You're also judged on how you show up in the world, whether you are bold and loud or if you are soft and meek. People tend to think that you don't have a backbone, or maybe you don't have
Hmm.
the power in your voice that other people do. And I'm vulnerable, right? When I talk
Hmm.
about things, I talk about it through my passion, and I get vulnerable. And sometimes I get caught up in it because it's powerful to me. And I impact people because of my vulnerability. But I also
Hmm.
know that it's a joy for me because I have pushed through things that would have held me down and back, that I wouldn't have elevated myself to if I would have stayed still.
Yeah, for sure. You talked about networking. So how did you get yourself more comfortable with networking?
So I went to a conference, and what really tickled me pink was for all the people who were introverts, they just laid their business cards on the table.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
they didn't walk around meeting and greeting everyone, but they did walk around observing people, right?
Hmm.
And so for the person who actually says something, like, most times people won't speak unless they're spoken to, right? But if you
Mm-hmm.
walk around with a smile on your face, people tend to say, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Or you're looking interested, or maybe you're picking up their book and you're reading it and you're going, "Wow, that looks interesting," right? Maybe you, I'm going to tell you, those Color Street nail things that peel off. A
Mm-hmm.
girl, she was like, "I'm an introvert, but I love nails, and come try on nails at my thing, and we don't even have to talk." And so I thought that was pretty cool. And here's the other
Yeah.
part in that. Once we got to her booth and we connected, we started talking. And it's simple little things. It's just getting yourself set up for success to walk over to do the thing that you're afraid of.
Mm.
And that really oftentimes brings you joy because you're
Yeah.
connecting with people, right? And the more I connected with people, the more excited I got about networking. And now I'm masterful at networking because I can hit a room and have great intention of who I want to connect with, and I do it very effectively and quickly because I want to hit as many people in the room that I can meet and understand and learn something from. So I'm very tactful when I network.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Okay.
that
That's
leaves me better than I found myself starting.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just haven't I've kind of forced myself to go to like networking events in the past, just to try it out, but I just feel like they have not been effective for me just because I don't know, I have just have so much anxiety, but I really want to um try this year to attend some more to get just more comfortable with them because I haven't done a really good job of making connections locally. So I have online, I've met people all over, but
Mm-hmm.
just like in my local area, I haven't built really great relationships with other business owners. And so I think I want to maybe kind of step my toe out there and
Yeah, dip
give
your
it.
toe in. Dip your toe in. Get into a weekly one that's reoccurring, because then you'll, even if you're just observing the room, you're going to find out who you gravitate towards and who you don't, and go towards the ones you don't first. And the reason why is, at least if you just introduce yourself, even if you don't gravitate towards them, I find they
Mhm.
teach me the most.
Mm, okay. Okay. Yeah,
And it
I'll
takes
give it
practice.
a shot. Yeah, definitely. If you do stuff, more often, then you'll get better as you
Mm-hmm.
you keep going. It's just convincing myself to go ahead and do it, get it
But
over
you
with.
can, and you can be successful at it. And here's the other part: set yourself up for success.
Right.
So if you're going into a room and there's 30 people, meet three.
Right.
Just start. Just start. Just take action in each room and introduce yourself to three people. And for me, that's kind of my goal on my introverted days. When I hit a room and I'm like, ooh, I just, I'm not feeling it today, or I'm not at my optimal person that I really want to be that enthusiastic about, right? Because sometimes it's our mood determines that. But we also have to know it's a mindset shift. We can go in the room and maybe not be the brightest light, but we can make
Right.
impact. We don't have to open our mouth and agree with everybody, and we can still make impact. We can still do all of those things and still leave and make impact, but we, um, it's how the light in you shines. And that's what makes you authentic to who you are. And people gravitate towards that. They like you or they don't, right? Because I'm not for everyone. I'm
Right.
not for, and I know that, but I do know what makes me beautifully me.
Mm.
And it's by
Mm-hmm.
being who I am, and acknowledging who I am and being true to who I am. And those things make a difference for me when I meet people because I'm authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes people see the beauty in who you are.
Gotcha.
So just
Mm.
be you, just psych yourself up and say, you know what? I'm going to make impact in this room and I'm going to meet, just say three. And if you meet more than three, all the better. Kind of
Right.
play like it's just like playing beat the clock, right?
Mm.
I can do that in five. No, I can do it in three. No, I can do it in two. I can do it in one. And you get all five. And then you're like, ding, 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 ding. I did it. I did it. I did it. And then that light goes off, that goes off in your brain, right? Ding, 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 ding.
Mhm.
I did it. I did it. I did it. And so that's kind of how I help people. Just go in the room and start with three. And if you can do three, and if you could do four, great. If you did five, exceptional. But you have to
Right.
start, and you have to, it's practice, 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 practice.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a shot and see what happens. I'll
Yeah.
document my journey.
And you should record it, do a live,
Mm.
sometimes that's how I meet people, by going live. And then I just
Mhm.
walk up to them and go, hey, tell me about your business. Everybody wants to give a shout out about their business, right?
Oh, that's
Everybody
a good
wants to get a
idea.
shout out about their business. And especially being the month for businesses, not that every month is for a business, but I'm saying like shout out Black business owners. That's such an important
Yeah.
thing to do, especially locally. You'd be surprised how much energy that will bring back to you.
Right. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely use some of those tips. So, Keisha, what inspired you to start your business?
Well, I always felt the need to serve people. I come from contribution. I spend a lot of time volunteering because I feel like that's important for me.
Hmm.
It's I have community is very important to me in my life, and serving my community certainly has been. I live in an area where we have a lot of homeless people.
Okay.
We had the hurricanes that come through. We got through COVID. We did through all that, and people are back to work now. But we have a large community of homeless people. And for me, so many of the homeless people um, can't get through the red tape, and they don't know how to navigate. And so, one of the things that I like to do is volunteer, helping people advocate for themselves. And for me, those come from doing resources and helping people find the correct resources that they need to get off the streets and get out of the homelessness sense of, and it can happen to anybody at any time. it,
Hmm.
it can happen. People are a paycheck away from losing everything, right? The economy is getting bad. The cost of living's gone up. We live in a hurricane community area. We live in a flooding zone, all of those things because we live near the water.
Hmm.
But people come to Florida because of the weather, and a lot of transient people come and go. But it's a community that the cost of living is high, and
Yeah.
so people don't realize that when you have, and the pay here has not been as high as being in a larger city. So there's just
Hmm.
a lot of local business. There's not a lot of corporate opportunities here, and if you don't have the skill set for that, labors are high, but they're high in demand and high turnover too.
Hmm.
So you have to be willing to do the work. And, and the other thing is the cost of living is so high all across the US. I was just looking at a map over the weekend of the cost of living and the cost of housing and how much exponentially it's grown. And so just getting people in the right places and having the right resources is very important. And I'm all about financial literacy and teaching people about financial literacy
Hmm.
because that's a
Okay.
game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. Hmm. Okay. So, as you are, or as you were building your business, or are building your business, what's what's a big challenge that you've had to overcome in your business?
Stopping and starting,
Oh,
stopping and starting. That has been a major stumble for me. It seems like I go through seasons where I have so many clients and then they
mhm.
grow and grow and grow. And then they're ready to move on. And during their growing season, I wasn't doing lead generation enough to keep the new people coming in. So it'd be like
Yeah.
I would stop and start because I would be like, oh, I have so many people graduating. Great. But I didn't have a lot of new recruits coming in
Yeah.
because it takes so much time and effort to get them from point A to point B that and I'm very invested in my people, right? But I
Mm.
also have to remember there's a lot of people who are coming just for the beginning and they're not going to stay till the end because they don't want the transformation. They want to
Mhm.
start, they want to talk about it, they want it, but they don't want to be it, do it, or have it. And I'm okay with that. But here's the other part in the stopping part of my business is because I didn't lead generate every single day. And now I do that effectively. And it's a part of my daily routine. And that means talking about my business to every single person that I meet, right? Talking about my business and asking for referrals. And
Mhm.
that's lead generation. Now, the internet helps, Instagram helps, and Facebook Lives help, but you have to be visible to talk about your business. And if you're not
Right.
visible in your business, you're not going to have a business, right? That really makes it a hobby, not a business.
Yeah.
And I don't want a
Yeah.
hobby. I want a sustainable business. And so it was the stopping and the starting that really held me back for a long period of time. But now I successfully got a blueprint. I follow my blueprint and I've been growing exponentially in my business.
That's awesome. And that's definitely a common challenge. I know it's something that I struggle with as well. Like, when I get new clients, I'm so focused on them and the work that I'm doing that
Hmm.
I stop marketing my business. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's so
it's easy.
hard. Uh-huh.
And it's easy to put yourself back on the back burner because you're giving to
Yes.
everybody else, but you can't pour from an empty cup, right? You
Right.
can't pour into other people from an empty cup. So self-care and meeting your goals are just as important and effective as if you were lead generation for people just like you
Hmm.
because you want to serve the people who want to grow,
Exactly.
right? And I want to serve people who are coachable. I want to serve people who are willing to they have to be willing, that is the key, they have to be willing to grow even outside of their comfort zone.
Hmm. Yeah,
And are they
absolutely.
committed to doing the work? Because you can't be mad about the results you're not getting for the work that you're not doing. Don't be mad at me because you're not getting the results that you're not doing the work that you so badly wanted and talked about, right? That's called
Mhm.
accountability. And I will hold you to accountability because I want for you what you want for you, right? But I can't make you do the work.
Right.
I can
Hmm.
be just as invested as you are, but I want to see you get results. So I want you to be coachable so we can talk about those things that are holding you back and you're procrastinating about. And let's talk about them. Let's move it forward. Let's acknowledge it and let's move forward and taking baby steps until we can get to the part where we can take big steps. And then when you get to big steps, you're no longer in procrastination and you're no longer going backwards. You're seeing results and you're moving the ticker higher and higher and higher towards your goal until you get to the top and then you're like ding 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 ding, winner winner chicken dinner, right? You've got to the place where you want to be and you're getting the results that you want. And not only that, but we're going to celebrate your success. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to celebrate, we're going to celebrate, we're going to celebrate. And it's those little things that you're celebrating and moving forward that are to the steps of success that you want to be until you get to the top and then you earn the medal.
Mm. Right.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
And it's
So,
visual. It's
yeah.
visual. You got to see it, you got to write it, you got to talk about it, and you got to believe it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So you spend a lot of time empowering your clients. How do you keep yourself motivated and inspired to keep going when you have challenges in your business?
I work in personal development, and
Hmm.
I have other mentors that work in personal development, and I go to conferences all the time. I feed myself daily, whether it's a podcast, a book, whether it is being on a roundtable discussion, whether it's being in a mastermind. I'm in two masterminds currently, and those are
Hmm.
women who are way more advanced than I am, and it scares the crap out of me. But you have to be in the room with people who are doing better than you to grow, right?
Yeah.
You have to be in the room with people who are breaking generational curses. You have to be in the room. I just went to the Sister and Brothers Keeper with Tiffany McIntosh, and
Okay.
big deal conference for me. Spiritual, emotionally, personal development wise. There were so many big leaders in the room: Ray Higdon, um, Ty Trebet. I mean, just so many people that just made such big impact for me and that fed my soul, set me on fire. And I feel like I'm $1 million. And as a matter of fact, I took off my crown a little bit ago. I'm going to put my crown back on, because when you wake up and you're intentional, this is my intention, right? I put my
Mm,
crown on because I want to be intentional, and I want to start my day intentionally, and I want to end it victoriously. And so
mm,
not only do I get to straighten the crown of other women, but I get to wear the crown because I've done the work.
wow.
And for me, that is a game changer. I am worthy. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am kind. I am gracious. I have the faith of a mustard seed, and I can walk in it every day and be in the room with millionaires and billionaires, because I know all I have to do is practice my faith, take action every day, and I will be exactly where I need to be, because I have the faith and I'm willing to do the work to get there.
Yeah.
And for me, this is a game changer. This is a game changer because I know who I am, I know where I'm from, I know how I serve, and I know how I show up. And it
Mm,
all starts with knowing. You have to do the work to know who you are. You have to know who you are and how you serve before you can help other people. You have to do the work, and it's not easy. You have to do the work, right?
yeah.
I have lots of certifications. I work in financial literacy again. I work in personal development. I work in mindset coaching. It all starts with the work that you're already doing for yourself. And that's how you help other people and you gain the knowledge.
Love that.
But you got to do the work.
Absolutely. We have to do the work. Well, Keisha, it has been so really great chatting with you. Before we go, I just wanted to give you the opportunity. If there's anything else you want to share with us, you can do that now. Or if you just want to let us know where we can find more information about you.
Yes, you can. I am a life and empowerment coach. I help people find their purpose. I help
Yeah.
people find their passion. And most of all, I help people take accountability. And with that brings the joy in life when you tap into it, right? That's the gift that I get to serve. You can find me on Facebook at Kacia Warren. You can find me on Instagram at Coach Kacia. And you can find me at on the internet at Coach Kacia Warren.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Keisha, we'll definitely check you out online and we'll be looking for your TED Talk.
Yes, thank you. You'll
Yeah.
be looking for my podcast next, because I'm a work in progress. I've been working on that for a while, and I have some things that I'm working on. So I will definitely share that thought and be having you as a guest as well.
Yes, sounds awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. And thank you to our audience for listening. This has been another episode of the Building Her Dream podcast. If you've enjoyed it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, leave us a review, and stay up to date with what we're doing by visiting www.buildingherdream.com.